Good afternoon. My name is Janie Seguí Rodriguez, and I'm an Afro-Latinx mother of two girls who are 6 and 12. I am the founder and board president of Stop the Wait Rhode Island. I attended failing schools as a child. I personally know how difficult the path forward is from that starting point. My story is a common one. It's a story of a parent who wanted to provide her children with the opportunities she never had. I was fiercely determined to ensure that my children were provided with an educational environment that believed they could thrive, that believed in their potential, that was committed to their success. When my oldest, Desti, a quiet, sweet little girl, was in first grade, she cried when I asked her how her first day of school went. She would often cry when recounting her experience in the classroom. She started biting holes on the bottom of her sleeves. Her teacher would frequently yell at the class. 1 month into school, she called my daughter to the front of the class and told her if she didn't answer the question correctly, she would stay back. I reached out to the school principal to set up a parent-teacher conference to express my concerns about how this teacher was engaging with our children. I asked the teacher why, among other threats, was she threatening to retain my daughter after 1 month of school. In front of the principal, she angrily stated, "These kids wouldn't be here if they didn't have to be." This was her defense, to deride our children as somehow deficient. Where else exactly did that teacher think that this group of black and brown 6-year-olds would be? The racist implications of her comments were clear as day. Despite our advocacy, nothing changed in that classroom. My pleas as a parent requesting a classroom change, ignored. The problem, of course, is systemic. Ask yourself, does your social justice allow you to critically analyze the institutions and organizations you hold near and dear to your heart, to challenge them, to hold them accountable? Or do you simply absolve them blindly? Charter schools are non-traditional public schools. They are not the solution to failing public schools. They are simply an alternative. Another option for low-income families who otherwise can't afford private school and don't have the means to pick up and move to another town with better schools. I assure you, as it pertains to traditional and non-traditional public schools, there is room for both. We must center student needs. To relentlessly advocate for your child in a system that refuses to see their humanity is exhausting, defeating. Desti was an early reader, but she always struggled with writing and single-digit math. And then in the 5th grade, she got into a charter school. She began receiving targeted math intervention during the school day and participating in after-school tutoring. After a few months, very little progress was made, and she underwent educational testing and was diagnosed with an arithmetic disability and would need an IEP to support her learning. Within a year, she closed her writing gap and went from not being able to write a proper sentence to writing a perfect essay. Desti is districted for one of the lowest performing middle schools in the state, where only 8% of students are proficient in ELA and only 5% of students are proficient in math. Parents are begging for more options for our children. In most cases, not having strong educational opportunities is the equivalent of a lifetime sentence to poverty. We need to allow parents of color the agency to make those decisions that are best for their families. How long do we have to wait for a space that will recognize the humanity and potential of our children? Thousands of parents sit on charter school wait lists, preschool wait lists, subsidized childcare wait lists, housing wait lists, Section 8 wait lists. When do they get a turn? For too many of us, poverty has been the deciding factor of where our children will go to school. And schools typically determine the level of access our children will have to the world. It's time to stop the wait. The truth is that many of the decision makers aren't outraged by the status of these schools because they believe that no other outcome is possible for low-income kids and for kids of color. This racist and classist viewpoint doesn't allow them to imagine any other possibility. They spend their political energy insisting we continue to send our children to failing schools, generation after generation, as opposed to providing real solutions. We want our children to learn, to play and to dream, just like you do, to reach their full potential. Why do we have to sacrifice our children to a broken system? Do not strip these children of their seats. Let them have a chance to thrive. Once and for all, let's stop the wait. Thank you.